So my name is Katy O'Mara. I'm the founder of Win-Win Sports and the director of Carolina Fever and Carolina Blast Lacrosse. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about how we introduce cradling in our programs, both in our youth, our rec level introductory programs, all the way up through high school, and the fundamentals that we kind of hammer home every time we get out there to do warm-ups. So first and foremost, we talk about stick grip. And so we teach the girls to have that stick facing out and pinch the stick between your index finger and your thumb, and then just kind of loosely drop the rest of your fingers around the shaft. The shaft should be resting in the palm. You don't really want to see a fist like this, because in lacrosse we teach that top hand is dominant, and we need to have that nice wrist control where we can snap our top wrist. Makes a big difference for power and placement and accuracy in our shots and our passes. So we want to have good top grip, and that bottom hand is more or less a guide. It kind of keeps things under control with the stick, but the top hand is going to be doing all the work. We teach the first cradle being the half cradle or the strong side cradle. So we have our hand about 3/4 of the way up the stick, and we have that stick up by our ear, and we call it ear to nose cradling. So we go ear to nose, and you'll notice that bottom hand is pretty loose, that top hand is kind of doing all the work. Then we move on from there and we teach the full cradle. And this is a cradle that you would use when you're in traffic, you're picking up that ground ball, or you're dodging in the 8-meter, you've got defenders on both sides of you, you need that really strong cradle to protect the stick. And you want to slide that top hand up a little bit more so you're a little bit stronger on the stick. Bottom hand is still just kind of a guide, and you're going shoulder to shoulder or ear to ear on that cradle. And then the last one we teach is the weak side cradle. For that, we do what's called little hands. We slide our top hand up to the top of the stick so we're nice and strong up there. We slide that bottom hand up so that it's a little more comfortable when we pull that over to our weak side, and we go ear to nose on that weak side. The other cradle that I like to teach, because I think it helps players learn how to just get a little more loose with their hands, and it's really advantageous for teaching the push-pull motion from different parts, from different areas, high and low. If you're learning how to do risers and behind the backs and around the world and that sort of thing in your passes, it's good to start with a nice big cradle, nice and low. We just call it that strong side low cradle. And I don't have a ball in here, but if I did, you would want that ball sitting on your shooting strings. Sitting right in that pocket rather, under your shooting strings. And you're gonna go nice and low, below your waist, and right about knee level. And again, it just kind of loosens my hands up, and it teaches the girls that motion that they need to have with their top hand so that they get that ball moving and sitting in that pocket. And that is pretty much the rotation that we go through every time we get out there with our littles. We have them start in a triple threat position with that stick up. And again, we're working on that ball body defender stick protection. And then we go half cradle, full cradle, weak side cradle, and a nice strong side cradle low. And that is the stick progression that we do when we are teaching our little kids all the way up through our high school players how to refresh and or learn how to cradle.